I want to show you some of the damages from the storm last night. Take a look at this tree. It was completely uprooted from the winds. They can go ahead and start cleaning up these broken limbs and such in the next hour. However, for people like his neighbors who are facing the northern exposure of the sun, the ice hasn't melted away yet. Most of the neighbors say they didn't know the residents of Lot 10 very well. Now I'm standing on the catwalks above the theater. The thieves had to strip the side of it and take the lid off, literally to get into the middle of the unit for some copper. Hallmark Mobile Home Park is a place where people aren't really close neighbors. They admitted to me that mostly they keep to themselves. But nobody here could keep to themselves last night as their neighborhood became swamped with police officers and CSI trucks. Today, they really couldn't tell us very much about the victims.
They were seen to be very nice people, but I know they just didn't associate with nobody.
English also said she could not sleep last night after realizing that the loud bangs she heard around 6 o'clock were gunshots. Despite the close proximity of these homes, most of the neighbors say they didn't know the residents of Lot 10 very well, but one person who did was their landlord.
They were the perfect tenant, the perfect people you wanted to rent to. I just spoke with her the day before yesterday. She was a really nice lady. She just came in to pay her water bill and said, "I'll see you on the 3rd to pay my rent." And that was it.
Yeah, this part right here was up on top of our house.
Tiffany Hunter shows us the damage left behind after a storm ripped through her backyard last night.
By the time I got my daughter down in the tub, it's just like the house started vibrating, and then it just went pitch black.
Hunter believes a tornado caused that eerie darkness just seconds before slicing across Highway 441. Today, you can see toys scattered in her yard and power lines dangling from her trampoline.
I'm 100% sure. I just from the way it sounded, like a train.
Now I want to show you some of the damages from the storm last night. Take a look at this tree. It was completely uprooted from the winds. I'm 5'3" and you can see that the roots are way above my head. But this is only some of the damage in Oconee County. It's nothing compared to what happened to some homes. The storm also slammed into this empty house, leaving part of the roof and nearby trees. Just down the road, Mary Simpson's property missed the storm's wrath, but with a 16-month-old grandson, she says her family didn't take any chances. That's why they took cover in this basement closet.
It was very, very, very tight, but it is the only place that doesn't have windows, and it's up against, this is actually against the earth.
While Simpson and her family huddled underground, Hunter is relieved her faith protected her from the worst of the storm.
Me and my daughter are very blessed. We're here alive.
In Oconee County, I'm Carter Coyle, Northeast Georgia WNEG News.
Here are what I'm wearing today, print.
Makeup, perfume, Robert Pattinson, the room of a teenage girl. But Carlos Lorenz is anything but a typical teenage girl.
I got the lipstick. I have plenty of lipstick.
Carlos is a 16-year-old transgendered teen. He has the body of a male but dresses and acts more like a woman. But Carlos says his age and sexual identity don't define who he is.
Society has made a gender for me, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready to become either one of them. I'll quote RuPaul. You can call me he, you can call me she, just as long as you call me. Oh, okay.
Carlos's parents have supported him since he first started dressing like a girl at a young age.
From the time he was probably about 2 or 3, I knew he was going to be gay. I didn't realize that he was going to be more the feminine gay. I mean, he didn't really play with Tonka trucks. He would dress in high heels and his grandmother's furs. He was in denial the whole time.
I was not in denial.
Being labeled as different in high school was extremely hard for Carlos. He first encountered bullying during his freshman year at Grayson High School in suburban Georgia.
There was like a bunch of different methods of attack in class, over the internet, stuff like that. Like pretty much any form that they could get to me in any way, they did.
Sometimes home was not much better. Neighbors who didn't understand Carlos left pamphlets discouraging homosexuality in his mailbox. Carlos's dad, a county police officer, found these messages very offensive.
I don't expect everybody to agree with Carlos, to agree with his lifestyle, but I do expect people to respect his right to be who he is. This is America, after all.
You know, you're a parent. You're not supposed, you know, you're supposed to be teaching your child not to do that kind of thing.
But name calling and staring seem mild compared to the death threat Carlos received at the end of the school year. He received an anonymous message through YouTube from a student who said they planned to kill him the last week of school. Psychologist Kip Matthews says that sexual minority students can experience verbal bullying up to 26 times every day.
It's very difficult to know who is your ally and who is safe to talk to about these kind of concerns. And so as a result, they just mainly keep to themselves.
I like to change it up a lot.
True to his personality, Carlos did not react like most.
Exactly just one. I wasn't really scared. I was kind of more bring it on, you know. I was kind of like, all right, let's do this.
With mom and dad?
So this is when he was a year old.
Okay.
Of course, it's still hard for Carlos's parents to see him teased, but they stay optimistic.
If you don't laugh about it a little bit, I guess the only thing left is you're going to cry about it.
Notorious.
Carlos dropped out of high school after 2 years. YouTube, which was once a threat to Carlos, is now another way he expresses himself. Carlos says he's confident with who he is and doesn't want to have a sex change. He plans to enter the world of high fashion and be a makeup artist, and he says he won't let his gender identity get in the way.